Yesterday, we dropped a video about the Dodgers possibly going after JD Martinez and Garrett Cooper and their interest in adding an impact bat. Well, in 570's Dodgers insider Dave Vassay, along with JD Martinez of the Red Sox and Garrett Cooper of the Marlins, the Dodgers are also interested in potentially trading for Josh Bell of the Nationals, Ian Happ of the Cubs, and Brandon Drury of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, Brandon Drury, we've talked about him for a few months now. This year, he has an 847 OPS, a 130 WRC plus, and he mashes against left-handed pitching. So far this season, an OPS of 1,042 with 9 home runs against southpaws. You know the Dodgers could use that. Also has great positional versatility. So far this year, he's played 54 games at third, 19 at second, 12 as DH, 6 at first, 2 at shortstop, and 1 in right field. Now, some people seem to believe that he's going to come down to earth at some point in the second half of the season. And in the second half, has gone off to a slow start, a 661 OPS in 7 games, maybe a little distracted with all these trade rumors. And then some people like to point at his home road splits to try to diminish his value. If you look at those home road splits, they actually have evened out a little bit as the year has progressed. Yes, Cincinnati, it is the big American small park. It is the bandbox in Cincy. He does have an 898 OPS with 11 bombs at home, but a 778 OPS on the road with 8 home runs. That's not terribly drastic. And if you look at his peripherals, the quality of contact, he is due for some positive aggression. And lest I remind you, he did hit 2 home runs at Dodger Stadium earlier in the year when everyone was complaining about those dead balls. So I do think Drury can provide some pop, give you some positional versatility, and also could you include him in a deal with Luis Castillo, a little package deal, Castillo and Drury to the Dodgers. That could be a taller price, there's no question about it, but also is a package that could really help this team. And then there's Tyler Anderson's son, Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs. If you remember a few weeks ago, Ian Happ was trying to bulldoze his way into home plate, and Tyler Anderson just shoved him to the ground like he was a free safety, and Happ was a running back going for extra yardage. It looked like a scene from Bloodsport. It looked like they were at the Kumite or something like that, a little self-defense move. But no, Ian Happ is a player that's going to help a team. You saw the hug with him and Contreras. The Cubs are definitely going to move him. Now, the pros with Ian Happ are that he's having the best season of his professional career, an 813 OPS, a 127 WRC plus. And why has he had so much success this season is he's cut down on those strikeouts. He's dropped that strikeout rate from 29.2% last year down to 21.5% this year. That number was at 29.2% for his career. Always has been a guy that can get on base. He's taking a lot of walks at 10.9 walk percentage. He mashes left-handed pitching, a 159 WRC plus, a 920 OPS. He's a switch hitter. He has produced more as a right-handed bat this year, a 463 BABIP as a righty. So he's due for some aggression. The BABIP gods have blessed him this season. He does have one more year of team control, so he's not a rental. He's making $6.9 million this season. He'll make around $10 million next year, and that could be a con as well because the price is going to be high for Ian Happ. The Padres have been rumored to be interested in adding him as well. Another con, too, is his power numbers are down. 9 home runs this season. His pace is down from hitting a career-high 25 dingers last year. He does have a career-high 24 doubles, so he is finding the gaps. Now, with that 1 year of team control, you are going to have to part ways most likely with a top 10 to 15 prospect. You're not going to have to give up a top 5 prospect for Happ, but maybe the incentive for the Dodgers is to trade for Happ and have them include a David Robertson, one of the best relievers in the game this season, along with Michael Givens, another impact reliever that can help the Dodgers. So they could try to spackle up this bullpen with one of those Cubs relievers along with Ian Happ. I don't love the idea of Ian Happ in a bullpen piece as much as I like a Drury or a Castillo or some of these other names we've talked about like JD Martinez, but it is an interesting option. And then finally, there's Josh Bell, who could be the best bat moved at the deadline, not named Juan Soto. If you look at the year he's having, a 142 WRC plus, a 377 WOBA, 877 OPS with 13 home runs, 23 doubles, and 3 triples. Kind of the knock on him at one point on the season was that he wasn't mashing against left-handed pitching, but he really has turned it around. Now has an 829 OPS versus southpaws compared to a 905 OPS OPS versus righties. He is a switch hitter. You could put him in the outfield in a pinch. He hasn't played there in some years. He probably would just be the DH with Freddie Freeman at first base because that is the position that Josh Bell plays right now for the Nationals. But if you are considering bringing in JD Martinez, who's going to be a DH, maybe you also consider a Josh Bell, having him be your primary DH as well, because he could be an impact bat. No postseason experience. That could be seen as a con, but he is also going to be a free agent after this year. And I always say the biggest PED is not having a contract the following season. Guys want to show out in their platform season, so that could be a reason you bring in Josh Bell, have him show out with the Dodgers. He can get himself a nice deal. I don't know if you guys heard me. I mentioned the idea of the Dodgers trading for Josh Bell a month ago on the roundtable, so I could definitely get behind Josh Bell to the Dodgers. The price wouldn't be terribly high, and right now the Mets are heavily involved in trying to acquire Josh Bell, but maybe the Dodgers find a way to sneak in there. But I think the big thing right now is what happens with Juan Soto. I'm going to drop a video on Shohei Ohtani a little later, so be on the lookout for that. But let me know down below in the comment section, which of these three bats do you like the most between Happ, Bell, and Drury? Let me know down below. And would you be willing to take on Mike Moustakas' contract to get Luis Castillo? Let me know down below in the comment section. My name is DMAC. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. For all latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, interviews, and more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.